Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a get ready with me style of tutorial because I haven't done one in a while and I wanted to use some things that I've had for a really long time and just show some love towards those products that I do really like. And I've gotten so busy with new things and trying and testing new products that I've forgotten about some of my old loves. So I've taken some of those out of my drawers, dusted them off, and I wanted to use them. Now the only thing that I know that I want to do is something kind of warm on the eyes. So I've got a couple eyeshadows that are kind of in that warm tone category, and I will be using a few new products and then some older products. So I think this will be fun. Just bear with me because I am getting sick again for the second time in this month. So I'm not happy about that, but I'm going to push through this. Alright, so I think I'm going to start with foundation. I just have recently cleansed my face and put the moisturizer on. I am trying a La Roche-Posay moisturizer to see how that works with my skin. It's the one that's made for intolerant skin. So that's all I have on my face. I'm going to skip primer. I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay foundation. And this is the Naked Skin. I have been really enjoying this a lot. I've used this in a lot of tutorials and I've been telling you guys about it in a lot of my recent videos. This has actually been really, really good to me. And it is quite disgusting, so just let's not overlook the mess that I have on this product. But what I like to do is just kind of pump some on the back of my hand. I've been using about a pump or so, and I've been keeping my foundation quite light and just thin. And I think that that really works, especially because my skin does feel really dry, but it does get just a little bit oily towards the end of the day. So I've noticed a change in my skin with the seasonal changes. And it is very cold here in Tennessee, so this foundation has just been really good to me. And I'm just using my beauty blender, which I've recently gotten back into as of late. If you don't have a beauty blender, you could use like the Real Technique sponges. Those are actually good too. And I have the new one. So one pump really gives me a nice light coverage. This isn't by any means a full coverage foundation. If you've been curious about it or if you wanted to try it, it's not a full coverage. You will need, like for me, as you can see, I have some issues here, which I'm not happy about, but I will need to go in with some concealer and just kind of cover up what isn't covered by the foundation, which is fine because I'd rather do that than cake on tons of foundation because it can look bad. And I did dampen my beauty blender. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I will update you guys throughout this video. It's very relaxed. I may speed through some of the parts. You know how this works. I might give the Amazing Concealer another go. I did film a first impressions video. You've probably already seen it. Yeah, my skin it's in a bad shape, so anything that's super thick and very emollient, like this particular concealer, just doesn't really work for dry, kind of flaky skin. So I'm going to continue to give it a go, but I think today I want to use my Smashbox. This is the Studio Skin 24-hour concealer, and I have it in the shade Light. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm going to go in with my Pixi Correction Concentrate first. And I've been using the Real Techniques Dome Shadow Brush to apply that, which, I mean, this brush has been shoved in like a massive pile and it works really well. This stuff is not as thick as the Benefit Erase Paste, which for me, that is just too thick, like it creases as all get out. So this is a little bit thinner, yet gives me that same sort of feel. So that helps just to kind of even everything out first before I go in with my concealer. Oh yeah, this concealer is actually pretty good. I've been using it for the last, I don't know, week or so, and I really like it because it doesn't actually cling on to dryness. Like yesterday when I did the first impression on this, it looked nice with just this on, but as soon as I set this with any powder, it looked pretty bad. and it accentuated like dryness, whereas this one from Smashbox doesn't really do that. And I'm glad about that because you don't want your under eye area to look dry. That's like the last thing that anybody wants. And then I'm going to use a little bit. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the Amazing Concealer on I have some on the back of my hand. It's actually really light, but I'm going to use that to cover up some imperfections because I do feel like it does provide a really nice coverage. I just think it's a little kind of too emollient and thick for the under eye area, but it's actually good if you have anything small that you want to cover. And I'm using one of the mini sponges from Real Techniques. I'm going to try to use some on this eye as well because this was actually kind of peeling and the concealer was clinging to that kind of dry, flaky skin, but that seems to really help sort of tone that down a little bit, and it's not as visible, which I'm happy about. And I do have some scars as well that are going to take a really long time to go away, but I might be able to kind of minimize the appearance of them. I like to use the Bésame powders. I really have been enjoying these. I haven't done a video solely dedicated to these powders, but they're very good. So if you want some setting powders that are more of a brightening quality to them versus just something like my Cinema Secrets or any just sort of white clear powder, these are translucent, but they add a bit of brightness to the skin. And then they have a yellow one as well, which I really like them. I like all of them, honestly. I'm going to use the lavender shade today, going with my beauty blender because it's still kind of damp. And I just pick up whatever's in the cap, like so. And I'm just going to kind of quickly run this under the eye. I've been doing just thin layers of powder under the eye instead of like the baking technique, especially because my under eye has been really dry lately, and it helps keeping powders to a minimum. So I just do a thin layer and then set the upper lid area as well. And that just added just a nice bit of brightness. I do take some right in this area, a little bit thicker, kind of like baking with it, because that lavender or even the pink one has that brightness to it, which I really like. And then I like to use my Cinema Secrets, the Ultra Lucent setting powder, lightly on the rest of my face. And I'm just kind of pushing that into the skin to set everything, but not lift off any of the foundation that I just applied. And that's why I love beauty sponges like this, because it makes that so easy. Time for some brows. I'm going to go in with my Brow Wiz from Anastasia. This is the triangular brow pencil. I have the shade medium brown. I also have a couple other things like the Gimme Brow from Benefit, the micro brow pencil from NYX, some brow gel, you know, the usual suspects. Anyways, I wanted to kind of update you guys because I know not everyone that watches my videos follows me on Snapchat, although you should. It's been kind of rough here lately. You guys know that one of my rabbits passed away in October, and that's been really difficult for me. And it's been hard because, you know, everything here at home reminds me so much of him and how much I miss him. So, you know, was going through the process of grieving and figuring out a way to accept it. I still haven't come to terms with it. I've been hanging on to, you know, with a thread onto my other bunny because I'm afraid that, you know, he's gonna pass away too, and, you know, I don't want it to be in the same case where it's so fast that I don't even see it coming. So a week ago, from yesterday, he actually got really sick, and I had to take him into the emergency vet, and they kept him for the entire day. And he had a lot of like trapped gas internally, so he was in a lot of pain, and they had to give him fluids, critical care food, medicine, motility medicine to keep everything moving. And it wasn't guaranteed that it was going to work, but when a rabbit has like GI stasis or anything with gastrointestinal, most often it could lead to them passing away. And I was terrified. That day I was a wreck. I'm using the Catrice brow definer, like the little brow pens, to kind of fill in any little gaps. So anyways, I was a wreck, and he seemed to be responding to the medicine, so they let me take him home. And I'm so happy to tell you guys that he seems to be his normal self, and he seems to be eating again because he stopped eating, he stopped drinking, and when a rabbit does that, it can be deadly, and it happens quickly. And as if that wasn't enough, I had scheduled for one of my dogs, I have 2 Yorkies, I had scheduled my dog Sydney to get her dental surgery done, get her teeth clean, pull out any teeth that need to be bad, or teeth that are bad that need to be pulled. And because she's a senior dog, she's almost 10 years old, I need to do a full blood work lab test on her because they need to make sure that she's healthy enough to go under anesthesia. And they called me yesterday to give me the results of her blood work, and unfortunately they have to postpone her dental surgery because her blood work came back that she had pancreatitis. And that just completely shattered my world. She's on medicine right now for that, and I have to take her back in about 2 weeks using some brow gel, Anastasia brow gel. Take her back in 2 weeks for them to retest her enzymes to see if the medicine and, you know, just monitoring her food and water intake, if that seems to have brought those numbers down where more in a normal range, then we can proceed with the dental. But it's not safe to put a dog with pancreatitis under. Alright, let's get to the good stuff in this tutorial. Let's put some bronzer in this face because I'm looking like I just seen a ghost. I used this for the first time in a while yesterday, and I realized how much I love this butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. It is absolutely perfect. I think I dug my nail in it. Hopefully not. It smells like summer. It just makes me want to go to a beach somewhere and just stay there for as long as possible. I love this. It's so beautiful, the shade. It blends out so great. It's like everything you would want in a bronzer. And it's from the drugstore, so you can easily find it. I'm using the Real Techniques, the Multitask, which is my favorite. And I'm just going to kind of bronze and apply this pretty much everywhere because I'm feeling a little bit pale. And it just makes your skin look like you naturally got some color, like from being on a vacation or something. Because, like, who wouldn't want to go on vacation, right? To somewhere tropical. I mean, I certainly can use a vacation. For highlight, I decided that I was going to do some layering. This, though, I've had for a while. It's the Clinique Chubby Stick, the Sculpting Highlight. I don't even know what shade this is. Oh, 01 Hefty Highlight. So, it's like a pearly pink color. But wait. Hold, please. And then from the Ultra Blush Palette in Sugar and Spice, there is a few, I'm gonna hold it this way, and it's disgusting, I'm sorry. There's a few highlighty shades. I have used this blush palette, the Sugar and Spice, in so many looks that I've done, and I love their products. Like, they really are really good quality, and they are so incredibly cheap, it's ridiculous. I think I'm gonna do this before my blush, I don't know. I'm gonna just kind of scribble it. Whoa. Okay, I'll see you, Clinique. And take my beauty sponge, the little minis from Real Techniques. I'm going to soften this out. And I'm going to layer a little bit more, like a powder over this, just to kind of make it a little bit more intense. And I'm going to go down my nose. This one is like very, like, intense. But it's so pretty. I'm going to put some in the center of my forehead a little bit. This is actually pretty good. I don't know why I don't use it as often as I should. Okay, so I'm trying to debate whether I should go in with like this pearl pink color or this white. Look how intense those are. Wow. Why don't we just mix them both? We're here, right? Let's do it. The Morphe M501. I'm going to just like lightly go into this white one. Boom. And then go right into the lightest pink. Just one tap, because they're going to see me in outer space with this. Holy. Hi. But I think I'm digging it. maybe I shouldn't have put it on my forehead. Let's not do that. And then I'm just gonna take my bronzer brush and just kind of go around all of this and go. I'm probably just gonna go with this shade here. This is the one that I always use because it goes with everything. Regardless of what I do with the eyes, it's just gonna be a color that matches. So I'm using the Morphe E4 for this. It's like an angled brush. And just lightly, see how pretty that is? Okay. Now I have been asked to use the Makeup Revolution Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. I did a look a long time ago with this, and I'll show you what it looks like. These are the colors. It's supposed to be kind of peachy. This came out right around the time that Too Faced released their peach palette, whatever that's called. I forget the name of it. I never bought it though from Too Faced, so I don't know if it's any good. Too Faced in general is a good brand, but I've never really tried it. And I also busted out my foiled eyeshadow in Flamethrower from Makeup Geek. This is exactly what I want on my lids. In fact, I want this all over my face. This is what I want. This is, yes, picture that on my lid. So we're gonna do that. That's what I want. I have, if you have the Makeup Geek and Manny MUA palette, I think it's still available. There's a shade right here in this palette. I'm pretty sure, let me see. Is it Luna? It might be Luna. I think so. I think that's the color. Luna? Probably not. It's probably Artemis. Maybe they have it backwards. Because I would suspect that Luna is this light one. Anyways, whatever. If you have this, it's this shade right here. That's a foiled eyeshadow. That would be a nice color too on the lid. Alright, so I'm going to start by applying a light skin tone color. This is just a matte finish, and I'm just going to use this one from the Manny MUA and Makeup Geek palettes, but just anything that matches your skin tone. And I'm using this just to make sure that everything on the lid is nice and set to prevent any creasing. And I'm using a Sigma E25. I'm going to start by applying some light transition shades. I'm going to go in with something that's slightly kind of tan and a little bit on the warm side because we're using kind of like a burnt orange in the crease, or on the lid, sorry. So I wanted to kind of start warming up this lid and crease here. Okay, so we have the crease done. That is such a pretty shade. Like, I could just do that with some wing liner and be done. So, I'm going to go in with that same light skin tone color that I applied first on the lid with a Morphe E22, and I'm going to go around the edges just to make sure that everything is nice and soft. Just a little bit. Going to the Neutrals versus Neutrals palette and going with this really warm, kind of rich tan color. And I'm going to go right on the outer V and start blending this into that transition shade. And I'm also not bringing up the darker colors up too high. I'm keeping it kind of like in my actual like natural crease and the outer V. I'm not going to go up too high up and towards the brow bone area. And then I'm just going to kind of soften lightly with whatever's left these edges so that it's not harsh. Like, you want everything to be just very soft and kind of blown out. I love that color. Oh my gosh, it's such a nice, like, warm, rich, warm color. Exactly what I wanted. I'm going to apply the Flamethrower Foiled Shadow onto my lids, but I'm going to use a very small brush. And I'm just kind of patting to prevent any fallout, because there will be just a little bit of fallout. It's not too bad. doing is just kind of softening out some more of those edges with that E25 brush that I used for my transition shade, and I'm just kind of bringing a little bit of that shadow right into this inner corner here, but just lightly. We got to move on to the lower lash line. I'm going to start with the same light transition shade on a detail brush. I'm going to apply that really close to the root of my lash. Then I'm going to go in with that really dark reddish brown color from the Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. And I'm going to go right on this outer third. And then I wanted to deepen up the lower lash line, so I'm going to go in with the Neutrals versus Neutrals palette, and I'm going to use this really rich dark brown. And then with a pencil brush, I'm going to soften out those edges. This is the MAC 219 brush. Okay, for the inner corner, I'm wiping off that 219 brush really, really well. And I'm just going to go in with this light champagne color here in that Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. It's going to go right in the inner corner. Ooh, that's pretty. I like this shade a lot. This palette's actually very good quality from Makeup Revolution. You can get it at Ulta. I want to say it's like $7. Really inexpensive. I'm going to take some of that as well under the brow bone for a little highlight. Alright, so for some liner, I'm going to be trying out a few new products. I have tested out this product before. I've worn it once before. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Matic. It's a mechanical pencil. I got it in the shade Deep Brown, so I think I'm going to use this on my waterline. And it's one of those you just twist up, so it's really easy for wearing anytime. It's easy for travel as well. I was looking for a new liquid liner, and I wanted one that was really dark, rich, and black, but also very matte. And I picked up the L'Oreal Voluminous liner Noir. It's the one with like the leopard print or cheetah print, whatever it is. And it's okay. It's not matte though. That's the only problem. It has like a sheen to it. So if you guys have any recommendations for really nice, richly black pigmented liner that is liquid, whether pen form or one of those that you have to pull out and apply with a brush, that's really nice and matte, let me know, because I am looking for one that's really, really intense. I'm going to take a dark brown. This is a really nice, rich, kind of chocolate brown. Going in with this liner, I do like how it has that sort of pen form, and the tip of it is very, very long, but it comes to a nice point. So it's not a bad liner, it's just not my favorite. Okay, so I attempted to do just a little bit of a wing. It's probably like a wing fail more than anything, but what are you gonna do, right? I had a little mishap with my eyeliner. It ended up being thicker and more winged out, so it involved Q-tips and some micellar cleansing water to fix the mistake. So I didn't record that. I just paused the camera because I was there for a long time. This is why I don't do wing liner, because it takes too long. I just added some mascara, and I'm using the Tartiest Lash Paint Mascara, which is my absolute favorite mascara from the high-end standpoint. I love the way it makes my lashes look long, thick, and it just, for me, I personally don't feel like I need false eyelashes, although you could wear them with this look. I think that would be really pretty. The lip, I mixed two liquid lipsticks, both from Jouer. One is the brown shade, which is called Noisette, and then the light one is called Creme Brûlée. I first started with Creme Brûlée and thought it was just way too light, so I had to mix in just a tiny bit of Noisette, which is this really pretty brown. I actually like that color a lot. And I got this sort of custom shade here. I think it goes really nicely. You could do really any light nude shade. You could do something brown, really whatever you wanted. So I like the look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this sort of get ready with me. I know it was a little bit longer than usual, but I wanted to update you guys with some things that are going on with me. So thank you guys for spending some time with me today. I hope that you like the look, and don't forget to subscribe. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for taking the time to subscribe and for watching my videos. It means more to me than you'll ever know. Have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.